Have you ever felt like you're constantly putting out fires in the classroom and your students are testing your limits every single day? What if I told you there's a way to prevent behavior issues before they even start? I spent 20 years in the classroom and I only wish that I had applied the three tips that I'm going to be sharing with you today in this video. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share how you can get my free classroom management plan resource. We're going to dive into three critical strategies every new teacher needs to master: behavioral expectations, routines, and consequences. Stick with me until the end, and you'll walk away with practical, actionable steps that will not only keep your classroom under control, but will also build a positive learning environment where your students will respect the rules. Sound good? Well, let's get started here. First up, let's talk about setting clear behavioral expectations. It's not just about what you say, it's about how consistent you are. From day one, let your students know exactly what's expected of them. This includes how they should behave in class, how they should interact with each other, and even how they should respond to you during your lessons. All right. So, having said that, be explicit, I should say. Don't assume students automatically know how to behave. Teach and model the expectations early on. Teach, model, and rehearse over and over and over again until it becomes second nature. Take some time to role play scenarios like raising hands before speaking or working quietly during group activities. This will set the tone and let your students know the classroom is a space for respect and learning. Are you a teacher who finds yourself drowning in the challenges of classroom management? Do student behaviors leave you feeling overwhelmed and drained at the end of each day? Picture this: a classroom where your students are not just present, but fully engaged, focused, and eager to learn. Say goodbye to classroom management stress and hello to success. The Teacher Rockstar Academy course is meticulously designed to equip you with the tools and strategies needed to skyrocket your effectiveness as a teacher. Curious to know if the Teacher Rockstar Academy course is the missing piece in your teaching journey? If you're ready to reclaim control of your classroom and witness the incredible impact on your students, then use the link in the podcast description to learn more about this program. Tip number one, okay, set clear, consistent expectations. By setting behavioral expectations, you're building a framework that helps students understand the boundaries and what's required of them. Next, routines are your best friend. I can't emphasize that enough. Classroom routines are what keep your day flowing smoothly, keep helping students transition from one activity to the next. Whether it's entering the classroom or getting ready for lessons or packing up at the end of the day, your routine should be predictable and very easy to follow. The key is practice. Okay. I always say perfect practice makes perfect. Walk your students through the routines until they become, like I said before, second nature. Repetition will make this feel automatic for both you and your students. Okay. Let's look at tip number two: reinforce routines early on and often. And don't be afraid to stop and reset if things aren't going right. Early correction prevents confusion later. A smooth running classroom helps minimize disruptions, giving you more time to actually teach. Okay, lastly, let's talk about consequences. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to be harsh, not by any means. Think of consequences as a way to reinforce the expectations and routines that you've already established. All right, that's the important thing here. The trick here is to be consistent and fair. Consequences should be fair and they should be clear, logical, and related to the behavior. For example, if a student disrupts a lesson, the consequence might be losing a privilege related to that lesson. But here's the key: do it with empathy. Okay, let the student know the consequence is a result of their choice, not because you're being punitive. Okay. Tip number three: apply consequences fairly and with empathy. When students know that your classroom is a place of fairness and mutual respect, they're more likely to follow the rules. And over time, you'll see fewer and fewer instances where consequences will even be needed. Okay. Because they'll know what the expectation is. So, what have we covered today? We've talked about setting clear behavior expectations, establishing and practicing routines, and applying consequences with empathy. These are the pillars of effective classroom management. Stick to these, my friend, and you'll create a space where students feel safe, respected, valued, and ready to learn. Okay, as promised, you could grab my free classroom management plan. The link is in the description. It's called Positive Discipline, a Classroom Management Plan. All you have to do is implement it. It's all there for you. Okay, my friend, we will see you in the next video. Take care.